Ladies, say hi in unison.
Hi.
Welcome to the We Talk About Everything podcast hosted by the chef,
The Weekman.
and some guy. Guys, family is growing. With that, we have two new hostesses. Ladies, please introduce yourself.
It's your girl Renee, all the way from PTA.
Wow.
And Snookums.
Guys, I love that very much. And here we talk about everything to everyone under the sun. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Guys, we're here back with another episode. Episode, what is it? I'm not sure. I don't keep count of this stuff. But the themes for today, guys, is gonna be, I wanna say touchy. It's gonna be very somewhat not touchy, but as usual we get deep with these things, you know. It's gonna be fun though. Please stick with us, guys, and like some guys said, we have two new hostesses. You know, they're gonna be a permanent addition to the show. We're looking to go far with them. And with that, I'll start. The themes are makeup, sexuality, hedonism, and self-love. You know, I'm sure you've all experienced that to some degree, to some in some life. You know, so I'll start off with the first question. Right? Do you think self-love can be selfish?
Personally, I think self love can be selfish to a certain extent. Remember, it also means putting yourself before others. It means you are not being considerate of other people in that moment. And in today's society, we are more of a collective than individualism. Yes, it is. We acknowledge it, but we have the saying of umuntu umuntu ngabantu. And you can't really say, oh, I'm keeping this or I'm doing this because I love myself, and tomorrow come back and expect people to help you. So I think to a certain degree, self love can be selfish.
It can be selfish to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Wigman,
Huh.
what do you think, Sam?
Um,
That chuckle.
yes, self-love can be selfish because it can be to an extent where you be like you only focus on yourself but neglecting other people's feelings. For example, it's like, okay, fine, you are in danger now. There's a dog. It's an example. A dog is coming to chase you. You run. But you leave what? You leave your friend behind. You're like, oh, at least I'm fine. At least I'm fine. I don't know about him. So that's self-love.
If there's danger involved, it's everyone for himself. I'm leaving you
I'm
behind.
sorry, like,
But that's the person you were working with.
yeah.
So you
So
are.
you're being selfish and you're not considering. But and also again, shortly and to end it abruptly, also is when you're thinking of when
Love it. Sorry. I love it. I love it. Please, sorry to listen.
Continue. And also you're too focused on money, but you neglect the people that you love because you're too focused on that. You're like, so because you become selfish in a sense because you're like, I care about how much my company is doing, but you don't care about what your love is doing. Your husband, your wife, you don't care about that. You neglect, and that can be selfish and become narcissist. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to add. No, ask actually.
Ask away.
I'd like to ask, Nick. So, since Renee and Wigman already defined self love as that, so do you think self love with self love? Ish, why? Hold on, this thing. Do you think it's a good thing or self love can turn to you being selfish? Yes, that is my question.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Um,
Because now I don't want to define it, by the way, because we're
Yeah.
just defining the end. But it can be and I don't think we can add more on what they
please
said.
repeat your question. I want to be sure.
Okay, so the question is, wait, let me just go to it. So, do you think self love can be selfish? Right.
Okay.
So, Wena, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I honestly, in this day and age, I think to some degree it is,
What?
or it can be selfish, self love, because like if you look at it properly, most guys or girls are toxic in this day and age. So just imagine your partner's being toxic to you, and you're like, you know what? I know my self worth. I'm not gonna endure this. That's self love.
That's you being selfish in to some extent, Gucci. I don't need this for my life. I'm gonna preserve myself and just walk away. Never. To him, it's oh, she's being selfish. No, but to me, it's I know myself. And I'm okay. Oh, continue.
Can I please interject?
Interject.
Right?
Mhm.
My question is,
Uh-huh.
do you think self-love being selfish
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
is it a good thing or
Oh,
a bad thing?
Oh, sorry. I think it is. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I think it's
Perfect.
I think
Because
it's
now me, I feel like it's a good thing.
I feel like it's a
And I'm
very.
not inconveniencing anyone by loving myself. So as long as I'm not affecting anyone, that's what you want.
Yeah,
That's what he's trying to say.
yeah. Because
Mm.
no one else is gonna love you.
Exactly.
And you see, once you start loving yourself, you're gonna be able to love the other person. If
Mhm.
you can't love yourself, how are you gonna be able to love the other person?
Amen.
But
Yeah,
I feel like
sufficiently.
I'm sorry to interject there. I feel like that's easier said than done.
Mhm.
What way would you say should a person start with the whole self love to people who don't know how to?
Self love.
Yeah.
How should they start?
Just give me your broad example of what self love looks like.
I mean, for me, it's nothing big. It's like choosing yourself daily. Like whenever you walk, maybe you're going to the store, then you're like, "Ish, I'm feeling like mazim, bumaturitos." Just spoil yourself, love yourself. It's like, you know, I know this is like very far away from it, but even the Bible says, "Husbands, love your wife as if you love your own body." Which is, I'm sure I'm paraphrasing very much there, but it's like when as much as you love yourself, love the other person. If you see, because at the end of the day they are obviously your other person, your body to be precise. So yeah, I'd say take care of yourself. When you spoil yourself, because no one will. Yeah.
So do you hear that, ladies? Buy yourself those flowers.
Yeah. And you don't need to wait for Valentine to do that.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
And now that I'm looking at those statements, like this question rather,
Can't trust that guy.
hey guys, I'm looking at this and I'm like, actually, self-love, how can know selfish?
What do you mean? Talk to me.
Like, think about it, guys.
Being controversial here.
Wait. No,
To be precise.
no, cause like, kanahana hore, shapo, I am standing by it, hore, self-love, if selfish, because of you love yourself and whatever. But then again, we still go Bible guys. And go Bible honor this in Webari. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Vincent. So if you love yourself, then like you said, it's gonna be easy to love another person and I believe that when you love someone and love yourself, you're not gonna be selfish.
Just a question, Pepe. I'm just gonna go a bit out of the topic. Do you think people now associate that with love bombing when you love someone the same way you love yourself?
Love women.
Like
Nice.
People of these days.
Not people of these days now. Nah.
I feel like people of these days they struggle. They can love themselves, but they don't love themselves rightly to a point where they can love some other person, like someone, because they love themselves in the terms of I me and it's me alone. You get it, and that is not enough to actually love someone else.
Well, my 2 cents, man, just to conclude this self-loving topic. My 2 cents. Definition of self-love. Well, I think we can all agree that self-love is subjective. No, there's no love that's objective. Love is subjective, so it has emotion and subjectivity to it, right? So what is self-love? It's treating yourself with kindness, compassion, yourself basically, yourself with kindness, that respect, that love that somebody else wouldn't want to treat you with, right? Now the question is, do you think self-love can be selfish? I believe so as well. It can be because let's say you've been hurt, I think we'll know about generational traumas and stuff, or that's basically if someone hurts you, or I'm sure you all know this phrase very well. Hurt people, right? when you get hurt by someone, you tell yourself, no, I don't want that for myself. I'm not gonna love myself. I'm gonna close myself from everyone else. But is that when you close yourself from everybody, choosing yourself? Is it you deciding to is it you deciding to treat yourself with love, compassion, because you didn't get that from someone else? Or is you deciding, no, I'm not going to give that love, compassion, respect to someone else because they failed to give it to me? Because then that means love is conditional, which is cool. Love is unconditional
Is
according
it?
to God. In the Bible, right? There's a verse in Corinthians, I think. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is it's all these beautiful. Yeah,
13 verse 4.
15 years.
Amen.
Yes, it's about baby, you guys. That's nice. So yeah, are you willing to be patient with another person? Are you willing to be kind to another person? That's love, and it goes to loving someone else, even though they hurt you. Can you still love the person even after they hurt you? Because that is love at the end of the day.
I feel like you're taking from personal experience.
Relax. But yeah, self love can be selfish because you're choosing yourself, which is fine. I think we all need some self love, but it gets bad to a degree now. It's like you can't treat me with that, so I'm gonna treat myself with that. You start being selfish to other people. You don't want to give that love. You don't want to give that kindness to another person. That's where self love for me can be. Self because you start thinking about yourself. It's only about yourself. You start to be considerate of yourself. Like, what about my feelings? It's about me. You getting into my space is gonna be a problem. So that's all right. Yeah, self love can be selfish.
And this you're highlighting not just romantically, but platonically.
Yeah, platonically. Even in families. Believe it now, people to not love each other comes from families most of the times. Because what you are portrayed at home, you're gonna portray to other people. Children, Shem. They're like, okay.
I want to disagree with you there.
Okay,
We
go on.
have instances where kids are model C students in their houses, but when they go to school, they're just something else. Or am I the only one who's seen that?
What do you mean model C students?
When they're at home, they listen, they are self-loving kids, they listen to everything. And then when they go outside, totally different. And I want to say this mostly for university students as well. Back at home, your mother knows you as this kind, caring, loving boy, but you're outside playing other kids. And it's like,
I feel like things like that, they just go to, I wanna please other people.
Yeah.
Like I wanna
it's influence of other
I wanna
people.
be accepted as part of the community. I wanna be accepted by the Bruce.
It's a people pleaser.
Yeah. I wanna be accepted by the Bruce, but things like that, they consequently hurt you. Yeah.
do you not think it's about the environment you're in as well? I feel like it's your true self as well. You're just in a different environment to be your true self, right? When you're at home, you are adapting to that environment of, okay, I have to listen, I have to be abiding. But when you're outside, you have your own free will, right? Nobody's telling you really, really to do it.
But how is it your true self if you change based on environment?
It's not really changing, it's rather adapting. Because as humans, we forever adapt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a very destructive environment, you will be destructive, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a good environment, you're in a good environment, you're probably going to be good. So is it really just saying, oh, it's really friends, it's really that? Well, it's a continual cycle. Every year, you're playing every girl every year, multiple.
Personal.
I know what I'm thinking, man. If you are self-actualized, right?
Okay.
If you are self-actualized, you won't let the environment change you.
And what's self-actualization?
It's like you know who you are,
Wow.
and you know your values, you know where you come from, and no one can just come to you, Renee, and say, Renee, since you're not going to groove, I don't want you to wear long pants, wear miniskirt. And if you don't want it, you're gonna stand your ground. You're not gonna wear that miniskirt because they told you so. That's you being self-actualized. You're like, okay, I'm not that girl that wears miniskirts, that goes out to groove or whatever. That is you knowing who you are. Yes, sir. And then that is associated with loving yourself, putting yourself first. So you want to do what is all over mama because of why you love and respect yourself. So it's not about the environment. Literally.
Okay, then you said something interesting. With the choosing yourself. Do whatever you want to do. Would you say then is it self love if let's say a guy buys jewelry all the time, covers himself with jewelry. And you're like, why so much jewelry? Like, I love myself, just like I'm jewelry. This means I'm treating myself to this type of thing. Would you say that's self love?
Yeah, it is. Doing what makes you happy, that is self-love. Putting yourself first.
Like, what about the miniskirt?
Miniskirt, o botsa ke motho mongwe gore apara miniskirt.
Okay, but what if they decide to wear it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Self
Oh,
love.
but then that's their decision.
So
that
that's
is
their
their
self-love.
That is yes.
Okay.
They're not impressing anyone. Her wearing a miniskirt, she's not trying to impress other people. She's wearing a miniskirt because she wants to. If she didn't, she wasn't gonna buy that miniskirt.
Well, what's the impression of that?
Because
I wanna look good.
No,
I think
get that.
miniskirt looks good on me.
I get that.
Thing is,
But
the miniskirt, quote unquote, affects the way people treat you. Because
environment.
there's this other saying I heard. I'm not sure how it goes, but it's like the way I'm gonna treat you is the way you're wearing or something like that.
The way you
Yeah.
portray yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
The way you
And I
display
get that.
yourself. If you wear like, forgive me for my language, if you wear like a hoe, I'm gonna treat you like a hoe.
Okay.
If you wear very appealing, very revealing clothes, revealing clothes,
And you see that as self love.
yeah, because things like that.
Which is fair.
Because guys are like visual creatures.
Yes.
They're gonna like what they see, but then you say, "Oh no, stop looking at me like this." But then you wore certain things because people are gonna look at you. You go,
You knew that, but at the same time, it's self love though. I'm waiting for myself, but at the same time, is there anything in the back of your mind would say, how I portray myself to the world is how they're gonna view me? Because am I supposed to think, oh, she just loves herself, or miniskirt?
My question is, what really constitutes a hoe? Because the same girl you're talking about that's wearing a skirt could be better than a church-going girl, believe it or not.
Amen.
maybe.
Amen. Because like now, I think Rana this thing, batho ba tla reng syndrome.
Exactly.
What are people gonna say?
Yeah.
What are people gonna say?
Judge
So-
people by the cover.
No, not exactly. It's like Joe. If you're gonna wear miniskirt as Wanyan and you know her, you have marau, you have big buns and whatever. Already you know her battle level. And you're fine with that. Literally. But then as long as when you are happy, you're just gonna go with that.
Because we have boyfriends where, as a boyfriend and my girl's looking that hot, I'm going with her to group and I'm looking at her. As much as you guys can visualize, I'm the one who's accessible to her.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And I'm with her. I'm accompanying her by her
But
side.
one thing I know is you're not with her 24/7.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I would like to say something about Melissa.
Feel conclude that.
Okay, concluding.
So this, yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine, yeah. As I was saying, you say that you will know that people will be looking at you, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine.
I wore it with intention.
Okay, with the
Yeah.
intention. But there are those girls that when you look at them, don't look at them.
Okay.
But
Those
they have their own
ones.
targets. and
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. But the thing is,
Okay,
listen.
There's something you want to say to her. He doesn't want to say, but it's fine. Finish.
But listen, even if you have your target, remember you know that
And
jets are going to look.
okay. And Harunya got validation from those people.
Interesting.
Harunya got validation from those people. He's not the target market Mara. The target market Hanya get validation from more.
You're not the target market.
You know. Yo,
Okay,
guys, let's get to our ring.
Good job.
I know. Get over to you.
Well, conclude.
But are you concluding?
And continue.
My point ran away, but I wanted to say, I agree with Melissa. When the girl wears a miniskirt, don't think she's wearing it for you. It hurts, but yeah. It doesn't hurt for you. It's like, Side eye. Like
Maybe
it's
it's for your,
moving.
maybe it's for your brother.
Because I'll be honest, man. When girls wear a certain way, sometimes, most of the time, I think, you'll clarify for me. I think most of the time, when they wear something, is to impress a certain someone. Apart from self love, is to impress someone. Self love is for yourself, right? But when you wear something, most of the time, is to impress someone. Because sometimes social creatures want to look presentable to other people. As much as you want to be like, okay, now I love myself, I'll wear whatever I want. So I like when I'm taking pajama on campus. It's not the campus, the morning, man. Not really morning. Everyone wears morning, but like those puffy ones, man.
Oh,
The one is
slippers.
Someone wore pajamas to the library. A gym, just to add.
Nah.
self-love.
Yeah.
Self-love.
Is it self-love? Take it out.
Self-love is a self-respect. But when you respect yourself, you don't say that is your personal way. No one should see you come hard lunch for example, guys. Oh, it's too personal. I feel like the pajama. Yeah, the pajama.
Tell the ladies.
Guys, wait.
No.
Bonnet, the gown, no. Very personal.
Yo.
And now it was this culture of groove where I would see guys wearing bonnets now, girls wearing bonnets, and I'm like, what is happening?
What are those things? Makeup, whatever. Bands.
Oh my god, the whole wig bands as well.
Yes.
It's like,
Sis.
Especially for VC, how's it about
Guys,
so
You getting track? Alright, guys. Who wants to ask the next question?
Oh, question 2.
Question 2.
Okay, so our next question is Ramro. Anyway, do you think people find happiness in short-term pleasure or long-term in this generation?
Alright.
I'll go first.
Oh.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
You proposed. What's your view on this? Let me tell you apart.
quite obvious. People of this generation, they're more interested in short-term pleasure because they want what I just want to hook up with her. I want to get over that thing. And the long-term thing is that thing you're okay, let's go to church. Let's go there because this thing is a spiritual genius law. So they want to enjoy themselves with the instead of you know what? Let me put these girls aside. Let me put myself first and let me focus myself because it's gonna lead to long term. Instead of that, they wanna enjoy they want to rush here.
Basically going back to self-control and self-love. You know they say a man who can control their lust is a strong man. Yes, Malisedi.
Can I please rephrase the question?
Yes.
Do you think people find happiness in short-term sexual pleasure or long-term sexual pleasure?
Jenny?
Short term. People people of this
No,
generation.
you already answered. Thing is, I didn't think the pleasure was based on sexual pleasure.
You can.
I think
Hence, I wanted to even raise a conversation. Good, see, is it can short-term pleasure only be sex only?
that's why I'm like, let me rephrase the question because it's sexual based, eh? Is it sexually based?
Only
Your
sex.
question.
No, it's
Because you gave us
everything,
sexual
but I
basis.
gave you the sexual basis of it.
Okay. Interesting.
No, now I want you to define short-term pleasure so that we are all able to answer.
Yes.
Short-term pleasures, things that don't involve self-focus. Something like let me you know the groovies. Right.
Okay.
You know you're going to waste your time, you're gonna feel the taste. How about there are people who can groove? There are people who pass it. There are people who fail. You know that you want that I am going to enjoy this just one time.
Okay.
Very short time. And also this thing of hookup culture. You hook up with them twin instead of waiting and finding the right one. So long term.
Hookup culture is a form of short-term pleasure.
Yeah.
I feel like also the hookup culture is a thing good like in relationships it's also normalized good I'm dating but at Groove there's this other guy who's Shebile, but I can Shebile, no, this is.
Oh,
So yeah, receiver, no, so like something like a quickie, that's like short-term pleasure. People prioritize things like that. Not even prioritize, they go for things like that. But they forget good see. Aye man. Just that one at home a movie.
There's this thing I read in a book now. Could see uh, sensual pleasure is a person's god. They worship that. People worship in my opinion, in this generation, people worship their lust. Like they need that sensual pleasure. And if I'm gonna remove now, I'm not talking about lust for like sex in general, like lust for power, lust for money, lust for like things that last only for a short time. Like when I forex, most of them, some of them. No shots fired. What about the forex? Ne? It's like I made 10,000 today, but I want more. I want more. I want more. And then you lose it. You feel that euphoria with I make money now. You feel that euphoria. That short term happiness, you feel it. And then it runs out. And then you want more. It's just basically a cycle. Ne? I read in that book could see a person's lust for something is their god. Because they want to appease that god. Like I have to please this. I have to please this.
Idol. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah?
Idol. Like
Idol. Basically, it's your idol. Your last, your god is what? Yeah, basically what you just said, right? So that's my 2 cents. Good short-term pleasure. Yeah, in this generation, you see it on TikTok, especially on Instagram.
Really?
I want this. I want it.
Really?
sorry.
Do you wanna add
I want to just
a
add
percentage?
Era spice mo.
And people just nowadays, like people just come up with words for everything to validate stuff. A situationship.
Whoa. I get your English. It's okay. So
Nowadays, when we have genuine male friends in our lives, it's a hookup culture. My homeboy this, my homeboy that, or my homegirl this and my homegirl that. And it's crazy because we're not the same at the end of the day. Yes, majority of our generation does it, but not everyone does it. And everybody will look at you that angle, no, you're definitely doing it. So people do find pleasure in, especially the long term one. Ooh, no, short story short. Hey, English matters are running out.
They do beauty.
So they do find happiness as long as for them, it's all about you, right?
Yeah.
It's all about, okay, if I can have her, I can. And it's also about that, okay, if I got the most beautiful girl, why can't I get the even prettier one?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I got her. Okay, if I can pull these two people, what can't I do?
Short term.
That's them validating you in some way, and it's no longer about you validating yourself. You get? So that's just my 10%. That's there. Basically, like a lot of people are okay with not understanding that a relationship is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's intentional because it goes from you looking at this person to choosing to stay with this person, right? When they do their stuff, you wake up and say, I still want this person. When they don't look their best, I still want this. It's a choice now to continually love that person. Yes, it started with just feelings and something you can't control, but you guys nurture it in some type of way, right? And yeah, that's basically it on my side.
Yeah.
Wait, man. Sorry.
I
You
love
had a
that you.
question?
I love that you.
No, you good.
I was just gonna say, do you think that long-term pleasure has a consequences on short-term pleasure has a consequences on your long-term pleasure?
It does,
Yeah.
because nowadays, like you said earlier on, you said, okay, now that I'm hurt, I'm closed off. So because of your short-term situationship, you're no longer going to give an intentional person an actual genuine chance in something that could not just be long-term, but could be your husband or your wife. Because you're like, nah, they did it, he did it, she probably did it too. So I think it does affect as well. Same with your friendship. Just because one girl broke your heart in the friendship doesn't mean all girls do the same, right? So I think it really hugely affects your long-term relationships.
Shino comes.
You?
Now I wanna answer.
really.
Mm.
I'm just gonna answer the question.
Mm.
So the question says, do you think people find happiness in short-term pleasure or long-term in this generation? So obviously, majority of the people find pleasure in short-term. This generation.
Yeah, Rona. The Gen
I'm a
Zs.
2K. I'm a 2K.
The
But
Gen
nah,
Zs.
they find pleasure in short-term things. And Nasha Mingala Botso Hore. It's because something that short, guys, is exciting. It's, you know, it's very exciting. Adrenaline, what do you?
Sorry
And
to cut you short, ne? Remember the ed in psychology?
Oh yes.
The pleasure principle.
It's a psycho. Oh, sorry. Continue.
So-
I understand.
Sorry.
so I think, I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people enjoy feeling that way. Enjoy the sneaking, around, Pella, like, guys, think about it. There's something that is long term. You know that it's gonna be there.
Sure.
It's gonna be there. Whether it's gonna be there. But then with something that is short, you wanna, I don't know, you wanna make the most of it. So that's why people choose. Okay, that's why people find happiness in a short term thing
Would
or
you say-
pleasure.
Would you say it's because like they don't have the responsibility to maintain those sort of
Exactly.
They don't want to
Yes.
own up. I feel like they don't want to own up to responsibility.
They don't wanna own up.
They don't want the responsibility. Like
Oh.
short-term pleasure has no responsibility. And it's short-term.
So, okay.
Short-term pleasure.
Exactly. If I'm dating someone's boyfriend, I don't have any responsibility to
Responsibility.
talk to him daily,
There's no
to text
accountability.
to him, to call him,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see him there.
Fine.
Yeah. And personally, maybe
There's no
men and their sides. It's that.
Are you there?
Are you?
Yeah, like it's basically that because of guys. Not gonna lie. Somebody once told me how his wife, has some of that
That excitement.
excitement.
That's
That's
Baba
why.
bomb earlier.
Yes, like he's looking for a person that is gonna be there.
Just add that
Just
flame.
add that spark. Just add, yes, he loves his wife very much, but short-term thing, just to make me feel alive.
And energize.
And it just yeah, because the marriage got boring at some point. I don't know. Hey, that was about to. That was about to. But yeah. Wait, now better.
But in conclusion, I'm not sure if anyone has another 2 cents to add, but to end it, like John, you're right. In this generation, it's short-term pleasure because social media is also a weapon. So like, guys, man, social media is a very it's a catalyst. Social media is a catalyst because
Passenger princess.
I feel like social media is a
Gucci bag. Louis Vuitton bag.
You have to go
Shoes. Now, what kind of tackle some to snimmy?
Yeezys.
We were wanting the owner. Do you remember?
Johnny Gasol.
But where aside, no man, the wife found a slip of a Gucci shoe.
Oh yeah.
Dude, bro, where's the shoe?
And
Bro,
she bought it
where's
to
the shoe?
exactly.
Bro,
It
where's
was
the
just
shoe?
trending. Where's the shoe? We want the shoe. Who bought the George? Exactly. Yo,
Funny. Yo, damn it.
Those my 2 cents and stuff. The third question, Renee.
Right.
So, with our third question is, how does modern culture confuse self-love with narcissism? Let me repeat that one more time.
Mm-hmm.
How does modern culture confuse self-love with narcissism?
Can someone please define narcissism for me?
Narcissism.
As a psychology student,
Narcissism.
Yes, when I psychology.
as a psychology student,
Narcissism.
and in general, but in narcissism, in psychology, narcissism is what is that word? This is what I'm looking for.
Like you think everything revolves around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Just be like,
Basically.
Everything is you.
Yeah,
it's
like
about me.
yeah, like
And me showing you that I have everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm the god of me.
Basically.
I'm the god of me. But yeah, that's narcissism. Psychological terms, it's indulging in one's own interests and no consideration of others. You know, and to a point, it's a there are studies that they say it might be part of the dark triad. In the dark triad, there's psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism. And narcissism is at I think the top. It's part of a personality disorder to some degree. Some believe it's a personality disorder. I think can also be caused by yourself as well, when you just don't care about yourself anymore. So when people confuse self-love and narcissism, they can be confused because now self-love is what? Caring about yourself, loving yourself, treating yourself with respect, caring about yourself finally. What is narcissism? It's that to a huge extent. It's all about myself actually. It's no longer it's about myself now. I wanna love myself. It's now I care about myself. Self-love would say the same way I love a person is the same way I love myself. Narcissism is I don't care what anybody else thinks. I care about myself. It's about me. So how does modern culture confuse self-love with narcissism? It's let me use an example. Let me use an example. A social media personality. Who can I use an example? I don't want to bash anyone, just an opinion.
An alleged opinion.
Allegedly.
You know.
Let me say Joseph Darren.
Now that's a controversial name.
I feel like for me now, he cares about people now. But it's mostly like guys, look, I'm wearing Nike, maybe it's self love.
I'm sorry, he cares about people where? Can you explain?
I get it like when I go to videos, like when these videos like when the guy's crying or when the girl is crying, like like it's okay, and then when the guy wants to hit a girl, he's like, "I my cheater, don't even if she cheated on you, don't hate her, bruh, don't hate her." So I feel like I see the moral aspect to him.
I'm just gonna interject and say it's not really that. I feel like
Okay,
if you really do care, why are you doing it with the camera on?
fair point.
Because you are showing us that you have empathy,
for
but you could have
content.
also done it. Exactly. So
Okay.
can we say really that's like self-love?
So would you say then he wouldn't portray that if there were no cameras?
That's the thing. We don't really know this person, do we? We know what he shows us, what he's projecting. We don't know behind closed doors would he have really stopped the fight if he was just passing.
Okay, fair point. Then I can use him as an example then. Who can I use with a narcissistic personality? Because I want I want to use you as an example. Example, by the way. I see Wickman as narcissistic.
Okay.
He only cares about himself. He only loves himself. Like, considerations, man. He doesn't consider other people's feelings. Like, just this morning, I'm taking a shower. A beautiful shower. I'm singing my music there. I'm singing When You Love Her, When You Let Her Go. I don't know that song's name. Let Her Go. Yeah, Let Her Go. I'm singing that song on my phone. Okay, I'm just shower. The guy comes into the speaker, blasting loud music. I'm like, hey, whoa, buddy, someone's in here. I'm playing music first, so first come, first serve. I'm like, hey, buy a speaker. How? And he blesses music.
Without taking your feelings.
Without considering it, like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So I see that as narcissistic, if not considerate. Well, that's narcissistic behavior. But if he portrays it more than often, it's narcissistic behavior. If it's once, then we can say he's being inconsiderate. If it happens English bundles. If it happens for a consistent amount of times, then I can say he's portraying narcissistic behavior because he doesn't care about anybody else's feelings.
But can we say we're all narcissistic to a degree?
No.
I want to say this. I don't think we're narcissistic, but that one time, it counts.
Okay.
Let's give an example. If Schneckums, for example, has a bag, very expensive bag, and honestly, she doesn't need the use for it, she doesn't need it per se, and your neighbor needs a bag. No, that's my bag. It's too expensive just to get to a random person. That is you in a way being narcissistic. you're not considering that person, and you're just like putting property over a person's, can I say, I don't want to say life, but something that means value to them, but it's not really value to you, if I'm making sense. You saying no to that bag is just you saying, okay, you want to protect your property. But to that person, she or he would need it very much so. Am I making sense? So that's why I feel like we all are. We just don't see it, but it's like one or two nyana things. Because even our parents do it, right?
Yeah. So they do confuse it. Eh? We confuse self-love with narcissism. Because you think, I'm loving myself and you're being narcissistic. And John, when you blast your music, it's narcissistic.
What I said. Some of us are to suck out, but it's not nice.
Some guy,
Mhm.
do you think culture, modern culture, confuses self-love with narcissism? Now that you have the definition of narcissism and self-love, which we defined earlier on in the first question, right? And now you have the definition of narcissism. Do you think this generation of ours, our modern culture in general, do you think they confuse self-love with narcissism?
I mean, to some extent, because growing up there was like a group of people who would see maybe like they had like this high sense of importance for them. I feel like that's like the definition of narcissistic. If you search it, it's gonna say a high sense of their own importance. If you see,
And
when
authority.
when they think of themselves as like high, like they put themselves in like a high pedestal. If you see,
Basically entitled.
yeah.
So CEOs are basically narcissistic.
Who-
CEOs.
I
Because
mean,
businessmen have psychopathic, narcissistic tendencies. I'm gonna they have like market pay. They can have a market pay. Businessmen, I'm telling you guys, you can't find a pure
That's from
businessman.
experience.
I'm opposing. Yeah, I'm opposing.
Opposed. Yeah,
But
oh,
let it
finish your
finish.
question. Sorry to
I
interject.
mean, to some extent, maybe to them, I feel like if you're not in that situation, you might say the person is being narcissistic, but to themselves, it's just self love. So I would say, yeah,
They confuse
yeah,
it.
they confuse it because you go up to a person, you greet them, maybe they dropped like a specific thing, you're like hi, then they say hi, don't talk to me. Instead, I came to tell you that you dropped something, but now you're not listening to me because you were jail at least.
But I wanna. That
You
example
think what?
differs, though. I feel like it's within the situation as well, because sometimes that's how people do. That's what guys mostly do, just to get. They just play tricks, and you're like, okay, no.
I mean, fair.
Fair.
So sometimes that person is just like, no, not today. Even though you were trying something innocent, it's what other guys are trying to do as well. I'm pretty sure you go through this where someone says, oh, you dropped something, and when you look, you didn't really drop something. It was just a guy trying his luck. Do you get it? So I think that one situation depends. But there are girls where they'll be like, excuse me?
Snookumps, we didn't
Have
really hear
you
your
seen
answer.
me?
Yeah.
You didn't really hear your two
Yo,
cents
you
on.
guys said a mouthful. Not gonna lie. To a point, I didn't even have time to think. You guys occupy the space. Cause like hearing your guys' hearing your guys' opinion, I'm thinking, obviously, damn, what am I gonna say? Cause feel like you already said I'm not Pula. I can't add anything. What I can say is,
Answer the question. Do you think they do? And then if we have,
do you think?
do you think modern culture confuses self-love? Or why don't you advocate for self-love? You advocate. You love it.
For some
You advocate for it. So
yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they do.
why do you say that?
They just do. They just do. Wait, like, let me just gather my thoughts and I'll answer you guys. Ne? Is it fine? Yeah. Can you go to someone else?
Okay.
My turn.
Didn't Johnny answer already?
Did he?
You answered.
Yeah.
I think he did answer. Yeah, he did.
But if you still want to add a percentage, add.
Okay.
And then it's a
Because you said you're opposing me about the businessman. Aaron, talk to me, Sam.
I'm not opposing you.
Go. I'll
Because
clap
first
back.
of all, think about it.
Okay.
Okay, even though these people like they build a company, what they're being selfish, but at the end of the day, they're making sure that other people they're laying food at the table there. They're making sure that their families eat something.
So that
So them being selfish over their business is actually protecting those people.
so that covers
Man.
Kutsi having Goma Kwapini now. How does that
Alright,
make
yeah,
sense?
Yeah, you take in retrenchments.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, like what I'm saying for it,
They can
as
fire
a
anyone.
CEO,
Uh-huh.
like put yourself in that position. What would you do?
How is that
You wouldn't
related?
be like
How is that related to cheating though?
cheating.
Yeah.
I know I'm what's happening now? Cheating is
Like
wrong.
really,
Yeah.
oh, I said businessmen have narcissistic psychopathic tendencies, but don't care about it. Business.
They care about making profit,
They
and
care
making
about
the
more
business
profit.
grow. Because there is a retrenchment of yes. People
Mhm.
lose their jobs. Okay, if you don't want to take the 10K, there will be someone who will take the 10K.
But
They don't care about anyone.
They do care.
You're
They
right.
care about the business.
They care about the business.
Yes, they
Yeah.
care about their business
Yes.
and what benefits.
Yes.
And what their kids? You think they don't care about their kids?
Yeah, they only care about themselves and their own family.
Yes.
Look at the context of South Africa.
Yeah, but
The
you're
parliament,
right.
when the parliament
Hmm.
is full of rich people. Do you think they care about South Africans?
No.
Poor South Africans specifically.
Exactly. So you agree with us? in a
Yeah,
way.
that's
I'm wrong.
it's like giving an approach or they say this to the public, which I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. After they get it, after they get a specific position,
like literally right
Oh, I
now
know.
we had was it Ashley and Liam questioning these people and going to the things
Yeah.
they were showing us sort of this is 10 million, but where's the 10 million? They just dug up a few things and then
I guess I'm wrong, guy.
I mean, I get what you mean.
I'm
Nagore.
okay.
Yes, it's a business and you care about people, but
But I like
think from like zoom out. Why does he care about people? He needs those people to work for him. Because if there are no people, who's gonna work for him?
if they were machines.
Hmm?
What machines?
Papa.
Exactly.
Just for industrial
and even
revolution.
politically, bruh.
Mhm.
Every 4 years we see how these political parties now can give us services.
Mm.
Now they can do
All of a
this.
sudden.
Now the grannies are getting 1, 2, and 3 just to get votes. Immediately when they get votes, it's try bye.
Papa, you don't care
Bye.
about
That's-
Mabopani is even worse. Did you see how you can barely drive there?
Yeah, I saw.
But when it's time to have on ANC, it's all over
When
the
it's
place.
time to.
Yo,
That's what I say. That's why I said businessmen can.
Okay, but I would like to add something like on, like you said, you said the modern culture confuses. It is true. Like,
You
not
confuse
basic.
self-love with narcissism.
Modern culture.
Mm.
Yeah, it is
it's
true.
true.
Because sometimes like now just like Valentine, now I'm trying to think of sometimes like if you think about it, like I don't know how to give an example. For example, let's say you see like motho o tsamaya ka wheelchair, right? Like you know those people o ka tsamaya ka wheelchair, ona motho a mo push-ang, ne?
Okay.
And then maybe like mama how o bjadile moon, maybe like what's our way, no? Kopo o lo pusha motho on. But hi, but when it's your mom, you want to push it.
Is that narcissist? How's that?
You care only about your family, but other people you don't care.
That makes you narcissistic, then.
Yes.
to a certain degree, yes.
Yes.
You're caring
Because
about
you did mention
your
it, yeah.
clan and not other people.
Mm.
And
If you're not in my family, I don't care about you.
if you're not even my mother, I don't care about you.
So basically, all businessmen. To some extent.
Businessmen.
Because I
like the
want to give
businessman.
an example, and I want to hear from you guys. Is it narcissism or self love? For example, James, right? When you approach a girl and she's like, "Oh no, I'm not interested," then you guys are like, "Oh, it's not that you're my type anyway." So, bye.
Now we're just being better.
That's being bitter.
Just being petty. Being petty. It's being petty.
Okay.
I
I've
remember.
never done it, but it's being petty.
I once felt a friend of mine told me like a similar story. Yeah? So guys normally, and then guys normally go for some girls because it's just fun. It's a habit. If he
Okay.
sees, he went to this other girl, so he tells me he went to this other girl, and then he speaks to the girl, and then the girl is like, "No, I don't want." Then he's like, "Benugzama either way." If he sees,
Oh, it has happened to me. I do laugh actually.
Yes, girl.
I'm sorry, I laughed it. I think it's creative. Your comebacks are creative. I think Jen's comeback out of this world to the point where I had to be like, wow, that was bad. I was like, damn, okay.
Not gonna love never.
I have.
Unbelievable.
Especially because I'm the type of person.
Yeah.
I feel like when you talk to me, how you approach me is quite important. So, I'm not gonna look back. It's how you called me, so that's a dog calling in a way. I'm not
So
gonna
what-
get. So
Yeah.
whatever you say behind me, and then I hear it, I'm like, oh, that was creative. That was
What if our baby girl?
that's even insulting.
I remember that I once like this guy said, you, this girl. I once approached a girl. Hey, when I was approaching, I think it was 4 years back. I approached her, I was like, hey, no scam pape. I don't know scam pape. Hey, man. Caray. Me, I like, I don't have like that come back. I was like, it's fine. Bye bye.
Some
I was like, bye bye, sharp.
some cool guy
I
tell
just
you.
like-
It's yeah.
I just was like, bye bye. You. I was scam pape. Hey, man. In my mind, I wanted to say, when are we taking foot egg? When are we taking foot egg? Man. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
yeah.
YouTube friendly, man. It's
Yeah,
family.
sorry. Yeah. PG Buffett.
And also, who started with the whole darling, baby girl, sweetie,
Lala.
Lala,
Marine culture. What about King? My Shilai, Kiki Shilai.
Shayla. No, but Shayla is cute though. If you know the backstory, my Shayla is cute. Do you know the original
video?
Yeah.
Allah. He was great.
Yeah, he was crying about his daughter, saying my Shayla because he lost. You get there's a moral story to it. I don't just call you my Shayla.
Okay. Then
Means
Pookie
like-
or Pookie, you know that's.
Oh, Cookie, hey.
Yo, guys, the pet name again. Discuss the shit.
You see, 6 sauce. That's fine.
I'm serious.
The fourth question. Wait, man.
No, wait, sorry.
Oh.
We had. Was
Do you-
still
do you
coming.
have-
No, like as you guys said on my phone.
Okay.
There's nothing. Okay, wait, man. The fourth question said.
Okay, the first question says, do people pleasers wear makeup?
I feel like that's metaphorical there, man. What do you mean people pleasers wear makeup? Like,
What's a people pleaser?
what's a people pleaser in your opinion?
People
Oh,
pleaser
yeah.
is someone who's trying to fit in. A people pleaser is someone who sacrifices their happiness for other people to make the other people happy. That's a people pleaser to me.
You know, I know someone like that.
Tango. We try to see some other repeat.
Do you not think in primary we were people pleasers for our environment
Ish.
as kids? When you came with a certain lunchbox because your friend came with a certain lunchbox. When
Spider-Man.
you wear certain shoes because your friend had casual.
Because you wanna fit in.
Exactly. So I feel like it starts very young, where you see certain things and you're already doing it unconsciously as a child. And then when you're doing it, even as like an older person, you don't even think it's people pleasing. You think, oh, I'm used to it. It's a way of life. That's how it is. The gen said that, so that I'm a jitabati, look hell, and I'm doing exactly what they're saying.
Basically.
Basically.
Okay. My 2 cents. Yeah. Do people pleasers wear makeup? Yes. Yeah, they do. But is it only people pleasers who wear makeup? Because let's think about fake friends. Do they fit in?
Definitely.
Fake friends.
Yeah.
At the same time, they wear makeup because you pretend to other people. You wear this
just to get whatever you want.
just to get whatever you want. Why are you winking at me? Bro, it's weird, bro. He's winking at me. It's weird. Oh, well, I'm weird now. No, bro. You're trying to stop. No, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah. People please wear makeup. I don't know how I was proud, but I can say back in high school, I was a people pleaser. When I say name, I sucked up to my friends. Woo! I sucked up to them. I sucked up to my friends a lot. Like they would bash me, and I'm like, it's fine. I'll forgive them immediately.
But what do you want to say to them people thanks?
Lena, who I pleased, I take it back. But yeah, either way.
Nah, they did it for the character development, hey? Now you know better.
Now you know better. We need these experiences. Like you were a people pleaser, you're not anymore. You love yourself. It's self-love. When you love yourself, people please don't love themselves. You know, I need to be around people so I can feel loved. I need to be around people to feel validated. I need to be around people for them to notice me. I want to be noticed. Wearing this makeup, Furutata makeup, yeah, time to go. In a girl context, girls wear makeup because makeup is nice. Woo, woo.
And just to add on that, in sociology, I think there was this guy, James Cooley. Was it? It's not James Cooley, but it's Cooley, where we say we perform, right? There's a certain way you act when you're with your people. There's a certain way you act when you're home, and there's a literally you putting on different masks for these people. You don't behave necessarily exactly the same for them as well. I think that's something that is not looked at a lot.
That's very true. Some guy.
No, I'm done.
No, you can talk.
Because I'm just trying to give an example as well. How you don't go outside when you're home versus where you go outside when you're at uni.
Makeup.
Do you get me? So yeah, that's just all I wanted to say.
Some guy.
Do I think people pleasers wear makeup? I feel like people pleasers with makeup, it's just what they do in jail. Because they pretend to be people they're not so that they can fit in.
What if pleasing people is all they know, or all they've known their life, and it's not a pretense? It's literally who they are.
That's really deep.
Yo, that's deep, yo. Deepest thing ever.
Because I think with my primary example, that it starts literally at the base level primary, and it can literally go through that until. But there's no way you aren't building some sort of self-awareness, right? I think if you also can't grow in that sense and just realize and look back and say, okay, actually, nah, man.
I've been buying so many cards. Yo.
For me to understand my mistakes, I sit down with myself and reflect and be like, okay, I was really wrong in that instance. What can I do to make it work? Or what can I do to apologize, right? So I think, why are you not building your self-awareness with that? Why are you not looking at the environment? I really know that not all of us are going to be with people 24/7. You get your you time, and somehow we think about how the day went.
Yeah.
We think about what you did
All the time,
and we reflect, and it's like,
yeah.
what did I do to make it better today or tomorrow, or what can I undo? Okay, you can't undo, but what can you add? So if you aren't really growing in that sense, there's something wrong with you. Guys.
There is, sure.
Because you don't be 25 and say, oh, I'm not a people pleaser, but you're basically people pleasing the entire time.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they are self-aware and they do enjoy being a people pleaser. They dislike being, oh, it's that guy, the most available, most go-to guy, the reliable, branded guy. Sometimes people are actually okay with that. Like, oh, I'm validated. They feel validated in their way, if I'm making sense.
So do they have they don't have self-love then? Those people who are self-aware, they have people pleasers. Do they have self-love?
I don't think they do.
Maybe when they feel accomplished in being like pleasing people.
Now, maybe it's their self-love.
Yeah, people are different, man. People are messed up in their heads. Forgive me, but hey,
Mental illnesses.
if you are, find help.
Wow.
Realistic.
Maria, Snookums. We haven't heard your voice in a while.
Even
Kalisa like say hi. Like 2 minutes on now. Okay. Hey, wow. What is the question again?
Do people pleasers wear
Wear
makeup?
makeup. I mean, they do.
Can be literal makeup.
They do. People like they hide their real emotions behind certain situations. For example, it's like, say now your friends are bashing someone, and you laugh because very jokes. But then when you're like, actually this is not right. But because of my friends are the ones that are making the jokes, I decide to laugh and whatnot. So that's okay. Yeah, people. I mean, we do it. Hey, we do wear makeup, guys. Especially when it comes to friends. We try so hard to feel validated by them more than anything. I get to about call thanks is can hore re feel hore tshwantse re ba thabise all the time.
And that goes with like trust clowns, guys.
Yeah.
If they think back, you're like, that person needed to be validated by us.
By laughing at these jokes.
By laughing,
Do you get it? And it's like, it's a root thing. It didn't just start now. It's something that's been there. It's just not been acknowledged or dealt with in a way. Maybe that's why I'm tired 25 I didn't even see that. Where still there's no zero self awareness, accountability.
I'm not growth at all.
You get.
Yeah.
Stop people pleasing. It's wrong. It's not wrong, but it can get unhealthy. In fact, it is unhealthy. People pleasing is unhealthy.
Especially in
You
families.
don't love yourself.
Ooh, in
Stop it.
families as well.
Suck up. Suck up, suck up, suck up. So yeah.
Thing is,
Mhm.
do they know how people pleasers? Do they know how that they're pleasing people at that time?
But wouldn't you say we as kids are people pleasers towards our parents? To some extent.
I used like when your parents they're like, hey, if you do well in this test, we'll look at chocolate. Do well in that test. You wanna please your parents.
I don't think it's people pleasing. It's like positive something.
Positive reinforcement.
Oh, yeah.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now is the problem now.
Because-
that reinforcement goes away, but their behavior stays.
Yes.
You're not
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it for that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
anymore. What are you doing it for now?
Because it becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit.
You have to
Hey,
sit out chocolate.
Mamoto kwata, kaiga sharp.
And Lana, it's like, since when I try so hard to please my parents, everybody that's in my life, for them, good books, I should always try to please them. Because I please all the time. So whenever I didn't please them, I'm in the bad books. Do you understand? So you try by all means not to be in someone's bad book. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I think I can relate. Nah. This is a personal story, very short. My mom, I love my mom. I love you, mommy. I love my mom. But there was a time, she was like, Hoto, your little brother doesn't want to go to school anymore. He doesn't like school anymore. I'm like, have you thought maybe he doesn't like school? Like, why won't you like school? I'm like, you get bullies at school, you get crap at school. You get these. High school, man, it's full of stupidity, it's full of unnecessary stuff. So maybe he's feeling that pressure. And that's why maybe he doesn't like school. But Hoto, you did well at school. I'm like, fake smiles. Do you know fake smiles? And you're comparing right now. It's not cool. It's not cool. Like, all our lives, it's been doing this to please you. We went to school. I never liked school. Like, since grade 10, I'm like, I don't like school anymore. I'm doing this because Maka Are school. You have to get that degree. You won't get a job, Hoto. You won't get a job. So I have to get those good marks for her. I have to do this for her. I have to please her just to see her happy. If I fail, God forbid, I will not leave that house unharmed. I'm kidding. She's not an abuser. She's not an abuser. But it's that thing of she thought, if I stay in this right lane, Hoto's doing good at school. That means he's happy with school. That means he likes school. Can't you know? I want to please my mother. I want her to know because I'm doing well. No. I don't like school, but I have to do this. I have to do. I'm at school because I don't like it. I'm at school. You need a degree. Wasala, I want a degree. Kaka certificate. She's like, yeah.
And that's why people go for another degree as well. I think we have cases on TikTok where people talk with, I basically got this engineering degree from my parents. Now I'm going to go do something that I actually like. And it's like that.
And that's why this thing of pleasing people is evident to go primary. We're taught this thing at home and we take it to school and it grows with us. And sure, it's gonna get to a point where you're like, actually, hi man, I've been an S-licker, sorry for my French. sorry. So, and you decide, okay, no, let me just focus on myself and stop pleasing other people. And then that's when you find your peace, literally. Because then, want to please other hey man,
It drains you.
yeah, it drains you.
It drains you.
And then when you stop doing it, that's when you see, oh man, actually, life is nah without pleasing other people and. Yeah.
Correct.
Let
When you,
me
dis-
see.
when you discover self-actualization, self-reflection, Renee, yeah, there's that psych 221. I think it was psych 221. Positive. Positive psychology. Ne?
Yeah.
Remember that reflection we did, but reflect on these things, the hedonism, the eudaimonia, how do you feel like? I personally I love this module because it helps you self-reflect a lot about your own life. You look back and then you just think back to yourself like, how was I back in high school? How was I in this life? Like, in general, how has my life been? You just self-reflect a lot.
And I remember it also talked about the whole temporary pleasure thing. How we actually go back to normal after that short pleasure.
Mm.
You win lotto, and then
Then you go
after,
back.
You go back. You have money, but you're still the same person, basically.
Is that forex, right? You get money? Where do you get money from? Money! Then,
Very interesting.
Maria,
Those are short sometimes.
But I
Maria.
think John was also about to say something.
Yeah, you want to say something. Sorry.
Oh, I have a question. My question is you being available all the time, like you're always there to help. Are you pleasing people?
You always need to help in a sense.
No,
all
like
the time.
every
all
time,
the time.
but then like what
if
if
available,
I am
spare time.
always available to help?
I please.
I don't think everyone is always available. It's a choice.
Realistically.
Yeah, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's pleasing.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Really?
Sometimes,
Robala,
but if it's your partner romantically and they need help in that sense,
yes, it's your partner. You have to be available.
But not always. Always.
not
No,
always.
not always.
In most cases,
In
a
most
lot.
cases,
A
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Not all, but a lot, which is almost close to always. Whenever she's like, "Oh, I'm stuck in somewhere." Okay, doing a plan right now while you're in work, busy.
Partner isn't one. I want to understand.
Romantically.
Why you have to be there, my child?
You see, so
haven't been in a
that's
relationship.
you pleasing your partner.
You haven't been in a relationship. Okay.
Wouldn't you say that's love?
Same here. I haven't been in a relationship, so
Yeah.
Well,
a proper relationship.
a proper where both of you are considering each other first.
A proper relationship.
Damn. Okay.
Is it not proper because you didn't meet your needs?
A proper relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship for me,
You know,
I'm asking.
because
Like-
a proper relationship for me is reciprocal and not in a sense of measuring each other. No, he would buy me dinner today and maybe tomorrow I went out, saw something, thought of him, bought him from. Like, do you understand? That's me showing my love in a way. It's reciprocal. That's a proper relationship. Okay.
It is my definition, and I've never been in a proper relationship.
Then I guess we're all victims of that game. I'm a victim.
I'm fine.
Ish.
Okay, Renee.
I'm fine.
Ish.
I experienced it once, so I can tell that okay, this was actually a proper growing relationship.
Love does exist. Hey guys, I'm
Stop
telling
it.
you.
okay, let me answer the question because I never answered it.
Okay.
Which question again?
Do people please us? We make up.
Oh, okay.
But make up, wait.
Yeah, they do. Now was once a people pleaser, but I now lie.
What makes you say you're not?
What makes you say you're not?
I'm not because now I realize that there's some things that I used to do, like just to please other people. Now I feel like now in my group, in that group, I want to stand my own. I stand my own ground. I was like, now I get rapidly being HIV. That's why I started studying up for myself. I started saying no to some things. I'd say like even when the gents they were around clap figure if next but so yeah, people do wear makeup because in a sense you're you. And I feel like in your earlier stages you don't realize that you're crazy.
Exactly.
You don't realize. You realize later.
When you start
reflection. Joe, you can't see that.
Guys,
You
heal. Heal. Yes, heal.
Poland.
Heal.
I think I'm healed.
Really?
I think
You
to
know-
a certain extent.
Sorry.
I don't people please, but the people around me, I still go above and beyond for them because I know in changed situation, they would do the same.
Okay.
I don't think it's pleasing, but I think they have my bag, man. You don't have to have it the same way I have yours, but just knowing that, okay, if I'm in a crisis, there's someone that has me. That's, yeah,
I don't have to question it, basically.
without question.
So now I wanted to say, how guys, in order for you to know that you have healed from a certain situation, you won't go back and maybe like let's just say you meet with the person after a very long time. You won't tell them that you did this and this and this and that to me, and you won't remind them. Yes, you won't remind them, and that will show that actually you have healed and you have moved on from the past. You see. So yeah. Next question, please.
Our last question.
Our last question. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Patong. Waiting care kala music.
Ne.
Selanggawa.
Okay, so the last.
Okay.
Bonus
question kita kala music mo yang ni. Ne. I wanna know personally.
Ne.
Yeah.
But copyright of it.
You're just mentioning the song though. So the last question. Okay, second last.
Second last.
No, it's the last.
It's the last.
No. I mean, I thought you were.
No, it's a bonus question. So this is the last question, and we have a bonus question.
Okay. So, the last question would be: do the youth choose their sexuality, or it's already given to them?
Okay, I'll answer. So, sexuality, ne? So we'll the community.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, in the community, ne? Okay, so Nane, I believe that with sexuality, if non-tolike from Bunyani and never will change one actually.
So wouldn't you say, have you noticed that those guys who grow up around a group of girls, ne? And some girls tend to be suggestive. Gucci, you're good like this, but then the guy sees Gucci, I am comfortable like this, but maybe it's because they were never exposed to the other side, being with the boys, and he sees.
Yeah.
Hence, whether they see it as because I was never exposed to the other side, I'm comfortable like this. I am like this.
Okay, that is choosing your sexuality personally because of the environment. The environment influences you into choosing your sexuality. So, with guys, the kids like 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, like my niece and nephew, they play with a group of kids back at home. There's this kid and he's a boy. And that kid, dude, oh, but that's a Roby. I win. And I'm like, boy, girl. I like for real. And I'm like, okay, Mwano, they don't choose to act like that. Choose.
Sure.
Even though like he has a brother. Let me tell you, he has a brother. And sure, when kids go out and play, obviously you choose who to play with, right?
Yeah.
But then, you choose a hotel banyana because of you feel her banyana. Yeah. But even though Adalaba Shiman, he still acts that way. Yes, so that's Robbie. Ako for.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So when I choose based on the environment and some don't. That is my 2 cents. 1 cent actually. Yeah.
Jenny? Yo. The first one you say a lot.
I'm still bouncing off what you guys said. I'm taking it in.
Like what remember like when you're born as a kid, right? You're born as a boy or a girl.
No, I wanna use science there.
And it's also
where you have both. Let's talk about that one.
And also I have a question. A follow-up question. After you all have answered.
Okay.
It's very yeah.
Now, I'm so bad. I'm sure you're saying biologically
Mhm.
you're either born a male or
Or
a female.
Yes.
I'm saying biologically the chances of having both, then what?
Use both.
Both.
I'm joking. What doesn't make
Having
come on,
both.
like,
Oh,
male
you
and
can have a female and an
We literally have we have
male.
a person. I think
Fraternal twins.
no,
No.
no, you can
Having-
have both sexual organs.
Yes, reproductive.
That's syndrome.
Hermaphrodite.
But normally, what doesn't work? Normally,
That's
Yes.
syndrome. Yeah,
That's
I know.
her-
What is that syndrome?
Hermaphroditism.
Yeah. So normally, not abnormal.
Hermaphrodite.
okay.
Normally, because it's not supposed to happen. Because that means it's syndrome. That means
There are
because
problems.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
Something went wrong. Maybe the twins didn't. There was about to be twins. Yeah. And it keep on sticking there. Okay, as I was saying, you're born either you're either born as a guy or a boy. You don't know anything when you're born.
Sorry.
Mhm.
You either born as a what? Please repeat.
A girl or a boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
female or male.
Male or
You
female?
don't know anything. You're just a thought. You don't know anything.
Uh-huh.
But our education system and how, like back in the days, how they teach. Like, let me make an example. In the US, how they teach those kids these things. I feel like yes, there are some instances where you might find out that the person didn't choose. But what if the person didn't choose because of the education system that he was imposed into?
So you're saying sexuality is socialized?
Yes, it's socially constructed there.
Huh.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is because you, as you grew up, obvious umushimani wanyana. But when you start going to these kind of schools like the US school there, when they started teaching, I'm not against whatever
Education system and
the LGB, what color?
The community.
Community.
The community.
The alphabet, yeah, one color high. Because then, but I'm not one way talking.
Hey, just jokes, guys.
Just jokes. As I was saying, like it's a choice, my people. But at the end of the day, what if you wanted for a person to choose it, like even Korean, I choose. I feel like don't impose such things because there are some cases where they impose that education system. Teacher, then they just learn about these things. Then what? They change from young kids, like kids. They change. Then from that they are them. Then from them to change back. Then they become gay. Then from them to change back to how they were. It's gonna be hard because why? It started when they were young. So I feel like it's sexually constructed. I think.
Question me.
What is the question, guys?
Question me, Eri.
do the youth choose?
Do the youth choose their sexuality or it's already given to them?
It's already given to them.
It's already given
It's
to them.
already
That's
given
what you
to
say.
It's already given to them.
But, so your answer is it's already given to them. They don't the youth doesn't choose it because it's a question that has two answers. It's given to them, or the youth chooses. It's which one do you? It's given.
Are they choosing it or it's given to them?
Is it given to them, or do they choose it?
Isn't it
This thing is
Isn't it horrible? Obana kam ko karabona itlalisang horror like the education 1 2 3 1 2 3 and then it's socially
socially constructed.
right? And then
It means
after getting that education, they chose to.
Yeah. So they practically choose.
They chose.
They chose.
So I think to by feel you.
Yeah, they chose.
They chose. That is your stand.
Yeah.
Wow, what?
They chose.
Wow, what did you hear?
Yeah.
attention span.
He was busy telling me about the time. Can you please repeat them? My apologies.
Joe. Okay. His answer to this question is the youth chooses their sexuality based on social.
Socializing agents. Like
Yes.
So it's not already given to them.
No.
Okay. What do you think? Is it given to them? I have a follow-up question.
I think she answered before.
I did.
Yeah.
Is it given?
oh, let's jump me for this one. I'll come back to you guys.
Is it given?
Well, then I can
It's
anymore. No, it's a lie.
Oh,
Is it given, or do they choose it? It's the wording for me. Like when you say choose, like sexuality, like Do they choose whether they're male or female?
Yeah, in a sense.
The way they swing. So, like they choose their identity. Like okay,
I want to be gay.
Yeah, like they
I
just
want to be
choose
heterosexual. I want to be pansexual.
yeah, all the sexuals.
All the sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah.
Well, again, I'll put the media into this. They can choose it, because you're exposed to a lot of things. Like, okay, like star signs. Now I use star signs as an example. Like, hey, star signs are like this. Star signs, the Virgos do. They're secluded. They talk. They keep things to themselves. Like, okay, I identify with that. I want to be like that. Actually, you find out more about this thing, man. Hey, you want to be like that identity they tell you about. You want to portray this identity. I'm a Virgo guy, so I'm secluded. I'm reserved. Just an example. I don't care about horoscopes. I just know I'm a Virgo. Whoop whoop. But whoop. But with that in mind, it's like they can choose this. They choose the sexuality, even though it's already like given to them. They can choose it. Like, oh, you were born a boy. Okay, you must be a boy. But then as you go up, socially, environmentally, you're gonna be like, no, I don't feel like a boy actually. I mean, I do this. I play with dolls. I'm used to girls. I'm used to being in touch with my emotions. Like, I feel like I want to be. I feel like I'm a girl. I feel like I want to be gay. That type of thing.
When you say it,
Identity.
I say boys are not emotionally like that.
Hmm?
In touch with their emotions.
Not all of them. Be honest. Not all guys.
Okay, not
are
all
in touch.
guys, fair.
Not all guys.
Okay.
They don't like showing emotion. Basically,
fair.
so gay people. Just an opinion, guys. Don't bash me in the comments.
Just jokes.
Just jokes. Even though, but yeah, gay people are more in touch with their emotions. They wanna cry. They wanna express themselves. Boys are not expressive. They wanna express themselves. That's how I see it. So they choose it. The youth chooses it. Like especially my campus, the amount of boys that want to be girls. It's amazing. It's not amazing. It's wow.
I'm not actually about.
I don't know if it's like I'm not sure if I should be like, yeah, guys are being in touch with them, but I don't know because it's an overwhelming amount of boys to girls. Because yes, I see girls, man, but they're more girly than boys are being girly. I'm not sure if you get me.
I think
There are more.
I don't get you.
There are more there are more boy homosexuals than there are girl homosexuals.
Oh, okay.
On campus.
On campus.
I like how you said on campus. Specify just on campus.
Yeah, just on campus. That's what I've seen so far. But then look at the media. There's more coming out soon.
Yes. Okay.
But I'm kidding.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
In the closet.
In the closet.
To be continued.
You're homophobic.